So this is round two of, I believe, the losers bracket of the pit tournament. We've got DiamondCrafterA versus CapsTNT. Um, they're going to be both doing a classic pit percent run, and both runners are about to ready up, and it looks like they're getting started. Looks like DiamondCrafterA's stream froze for a second. I forgot to start the timer. It's alright, we can fix the timer in post. Oh shit, we got a bot, let's go. Get that out of the way. Yeah, I don't know, Twitch today has not been very good. Let me see if I refresh the stream if it works. And I got an ad. Maybe your end? Okay, on my end, it's all, like, at least on OBS it shows like everything's perfectly fine. Alright, can someone go on DiamondCrafterA's stream and see if it works over there? Oh, it looks like it's back now. Okay. It might have been your recording then. There it is. Looks like CapsTNT is getting the first pure heart here, which means that they are officially starting the playthrough of the game. They're now going to get control for the first time. Looks like the same thing's happening to DCA right now. Yeah, I agree. Whenever I play on the Japanese version of like any game and then I go back to the English version, it just looks weird. Alright, and it looks like CapsTNT is entering Chapter 1 first. Not by a lot, though, by about 10 seconds. It won't matter for a very long time, though, because we're about to get in the meat of the pit category, which is the pit of 100 trials. And most of what happens before the pit doesn't really matter, because there's so much RNG in the pit that you can be ahead or behind by like 3 minutes just in 10 rooms, so. Quickly stream later difference as well. Anyway, in the pit, it's definitely gonna show like who's ahead. Fire bursts are going to be very useful for Rackdale at the end. Overall, you'll see that items are very useful in this category. A lot more than in, say, any percent. zombie shroom, which shows text box. It's actually the slowest thing you can get in that one. Yeah, sitting the 1-1 grind with 38,000 points. That's way more than enough to prevent the soft lock. CapsTNT is ending the 1-1 grind with... Oh, it looks like CapsTNT is using the return pipe. Okay. Maybe they're going for a second shot at the 1-1 grind. Judging on what they're doing, that's probably what's happening. I honestly can't blame them, because 15,000 points is pretty far on the low end of the points. And if you don't get to 60,000 by room, I believe 30 of the pit, or 26, around that range, there's a room with a Koopa Troll, who, even to the best of your ability, you will not be able to defeat. So if that Koopa Troll has the key, and you don't have 60,000 points before that room, you will be soft-locked, because Mario won't have enough attack power. This is actually something that almost happened a couple races ago. Thankfully, they had a few fire bursts and was able to defeat the Koopa Troll regardless of their XP. In the soft block, if you're at if you're below 60,000 XP and the Koopa Troll has the key, you are soft locked in the pit. So you have about like 3 fire bursts, you are soft locked in the pit. If the Koopa Troll has the key. Oh! CapsTNT now has 44,000 points, which is way more than enough. Might be worth going back and redoing the...
Yo, what's up? It's your boy, me, Castle SR, here to help commentate with John P55. We got a pretty, I don't know how John's hyped up so far, but this looks to be like a fun race. DCA, up and coming new runner. CapsTNT I haven't seen very much from, but I'm very excited to see some excitement from this run, especially because they have upwards of 40,000 points. So we'll see how that helps them play out the pit.
Yeah. So, Castle, have you seen the beginning of the race so far?
Nope. You want to tell me what's going on so far?
Yeah. So, DiamondCrafterA got about 35,000 points in the 1-1 grind. CapsTNT got about 15,000 points and return piped out of Chapter 1 to try and get a second shot at the 1-1 grind. And
okay.
Yeah, and they got out of it with 44,000 points. I mean, it's pre-pit, you can basically do anything.
True. So, you just saw DCA there, or DiamondCrafterA, go into the shop to get some items. He's going to use these later in the pit. It's always a good idea to come into the pit with some extra resources, just to assure that your success is well high. Ooh, I feel that one personally. Yeah, you'll see the runners pick up a bunch of items, such as fire bursts or like shroom shakes. This is mostly done in this tournament specifically, so that these runners can assure that they finish the run.
Yeah, as I said earlier, there's a lot more room with what you can do in terms of items in the pit versus something like 80%, where it's really just all routed out. You just want to make you just want to make the best out of what you have along the way. For pit percent, any heal you come across is good. There are some more items as well. I've seen someone earlier in the tournament use a block. You don't see a lot of those in 80%. Actually, you don't see any of them in 80% at all. But in the pit, you can just kind of do whatever you want. You'll get a, as long as you're getting the rooms correctly, then you can basically do anything and still come out of it with a good run.
Anyways, DCA just went and picked up Throw. So since we're doing Classic Pit, we need to pick up both pixels that are Throw and Boomer before we enter the pit. You'll get Throw naturally just playing up until 2-1, and then in 2-1 you'll exit a little bit early to get Boomer, but we'll get to that later. So DCA is just going to talk to Watch It, and then he's going to talk to Green to get this whole bridge thing set up so he can finish the level. If either of these runners were on the Japanese version or an earlier version of the English editions, they could do a trick called a Green Bridge Skip, which just lets them skip the bridge that DCA is about to create. The trick in total saves, I want to say, about 2 minutes, a little bit less. But it's really risky to go for, especially if they play on the Japanese version, because if they play on the Japanese version, they'll have a chance at crashing.
The good thing about skipping the bridge is that you don't have to go out of your way to need Throw, and when you complete the chapter, the game actually has a failsafe that says if Mario doesn't currently have Throw and you beat the chapter, then just make up some excuse. Oh, this pixel called Throw heard all about your adventures, and the game just gives you Throw despite you never having met him.
Yeah, this can happen with a couple of pixels in the game. It happens with the other pixel we get, Boomer, but we don't need to do Boomer Skip because we actually need to get Boomer. It has been tested whether doing Boomer Skip and then finishing out the level was faster, but it turned out to be, I think, like 10 seconds slower.
Because if you don't do Boomer Skip, then all you do is get Boomer, and then you return Pipe out 2-1 entirely. So if you do Boomer Skip, finish the chapter, then you still have to go the whole way to finish the chapter. It takes up a bit more time than just talking to Throw and then just piecing out entirely.
Yeah. Alright, so we noticed at the beginning of 1-3, DCA did a little point grind to get a couple extra points. This is just so that he'll have higher amounts of points entering the pit. They want more points because when you have more points, it makes not only killing the enemies easier, but you also gain more health. Not to mention that you have to have 60,000 points by room 19 or 25, depending on your RNG, or else you will soft lock. Because you will not be able to do enough damage to either, if you're 19, the Koopa Troll, or 25, the Chain Chomp. Both these runners are looking really good on points, so I don't think they're going to have to worry about point routing currently. So right now we have so Caps is just doing the same thing DCA was, getting the bridge, and DCA is fighting O-Chunks. O-Chunks is kind of a notorious boss fight because although it may not be the hardest boss fight in the game, it is very finicky, especially when you do stylishes. You have to shake your remote in a very, very specific way so that you actually do stylish. Because if you shake the remote too hard, it won't register the import, or if you don't shake it enough, it also won't register the input.
You hit O-Chunks while he's ground pounding before he lands on the ground. You just soft locked. He just glitches out, leaves, and are stuck there and unable to move.
It is a relatively easy glitch to avoid, but I would always advise caution.
Yeah.
Coming up here, DCA is doing something called Ice Turbo Skip. So he picked up the Ice Turbo, so he's a little bit higher in the air, waiting till the peak of his jump, and then jumping off him to get up there. So if you don't do that skip, you have to go to the right and bounce off a spring. and it's not a whole lot slower, but it does save a decent amount of time to get ice triple skip. And right away, we're back to another skip. First try, by the way. I call it blue pet. Some people call it blue pedestal skip. I call it star block clip. But that trick pretty much, you use this weird little piece of platform that you can clip onto to get out of bounds, and doing so will allow you to run through the wall, like halfway through the wall, flip back into 2D, and hit the star block.
You're not even halfway through the wall, actually. You just you're running on air because you're right next to the ledge. Because as long as you keep running, the game doesn't check if you're still on that ledge or not. And then when you flip back, then you're just in there because 2D, lol XD, I don't know.
Yeah, so you could theoretically do it without that if you could find a way to like jump from the ground, but it doesn't work like that. Ooh. Ignore that ooh, by the way. I just...
Looks like CapsTNT is going to be fighting O-Chunks. Looks like it's their turn on the same O-Chunks fight. There is actually... The Stylishes are one... The Stylishes and Soft Lock are, yeah, they're one part of the fight, but you can also get grabbed by O-Chunks, and if that happens, then you lose
like
a
that.
lot of time. And
I'm chunked!
Meanwhile, DiamondCrafterA is doing key early, and it looks like she got it. Fairly short amount of time, yeah. Looks like Caps got thrown again.
Getting chunked. So just a little bit on how key early works really quickly. Well, these runners are kind of just wrapping this piece up. So key early, you pretty much corner clip out of bounds, and you get just far enough back to where when you flip in, or when you go back and you can maneuver out of bounds to get behind some blocks that the keys are inside, and then that avoids getting the blue switch in one of the rooms ahead of them, and unveiling the key. Oh no, DCA is almost gonna fall victim to the ladder. Yeah. That ladder is really infamous in the community because a lot of people just don't quite understand how it works, which is pretty understandable. You have to have 0 speed or I don't know, I think it's 0 speed on the... Is it X and Y or is it Z? Or, no, not X, or X and Y, it's Z thing. No, when you're going on the ladder, you can't have any speed going left.
Yeah, it's if you're going down and then you're going left. The game's physics just don't. And looks like DiamondCrafterA is about to go fight Brackdale. It's kind of an infamous boss because you literally do nothing for 20 seconds. And then,
Well, like 40 seconds.
It's about 20 seconds, I think.
I think it's upwards of, it's like 30 plus. I know because Zach has gone to the bathroom during that cutscene.
That's honestly possible. I wouldn't be surprised with how much time you lose there. So, if you fall off Brackdale, it's just game over. Well, it's not really, but you just lose.
But it's very, very sad. It's game over in our hearts.
Pretty much.
I was wondering why I like lose focus sometimes while I'm commentating this. I'm also fishing in Minecraft at the exact same time while commentating this run. Bear with me, chat.
Well, you keep us updated if you find any interesting.
I did I did get an unbreaking 3 fishing rod. That is why I said O earlier.
So, looks like CapsTNT has entered 1-4, and DiamondCrafterA is finally done with 3 boss cutscene and is now going to start the actual boss fight. And now the timer of doing nothing for 30 seconds starts. See is now on top of Fractale. Boss fight actually starts. CapsTNT is being very careful here because they are at 4 HP. Not here would be brutal. I think the run is just straight up over if you die at any point.
So here in the Fractale fight, you'll just notice that DCA is going to do the basic little strat here. You just pick these guys up, throw them at him. He's also going to do this little strat you can call the flip strat, where you use one of these dudes to push you farther to the right.
Castle, I believe DiamondCrafterA uses she, her pronouns, by the way.
My bad. Sorry, DCA.
Just use the right pronouns.
Yeah, that was my bad.
Looks like DCA is done with the Fractale fight.
Yeah,
now gonna get the second
she used that strat where you use the enemy to push yourself to the right.
When you pick up an enemy and you flip back in 2D, especially like on top of Fractale, the enemy will actually fall on you during the Mario realizes he's about to fall off animation. That actually pushes Mario far enough to the right that a jump will actually land on top of the antenna, and that's how you skip throwing 3 crackles every turn. So that actually saves quite a bit of time. There's actually a strat for the very first cycle where you do a jump in 3D and land on the enemy as it's falling, but it is by an order of magnitude more difficult. So runners in real time don't usually go for that.
DCA just picking up the second beer heart here. She is now entering pre-chapter 2, which is the longest pre-chapter in the game besides technically pre-chapter 7, but that doesn't really count. You go to chapter 7.
Chapter 7 doesn't really count because I kinda consider, personally I consider the World of Nothing and Return as to be 6-3 and 6-4. Even though that's really not the official, like, way of seeing it. I just see them as the end of chapter 6 in a way. But also 7-1 Return kinda counts as 7-1 as well because it is literally in the 7-1 world. But I just see pre-chapter 7 as between Return and actually entering the door.
Based. So right here, this I'll tell you guys a little something fun here. So currently, DCA, she is in chapter 8 right now, right? So you may be thinking, well, you can't really do anything here. You can't open the pause menu, you can't change characters, you can't use Tippy, you can't do much of anything. Well, it was discovered if you can get up on this ledge to the right, which should be about any second now, probably on stream.
Yeah, there it is.
If you go up to that ledge on the right, you go up there, go through the pipe, get the key, come back through here, open the locked door to the right, save, and reset your game, you could get yourself, you could open the menu and return pipe in a Chapter 8 state. So, as cool as this is, it's not exactly useful.
Yeah, in fact, it's completely useless. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's quite literally a soft lock.
Yeah, so currently we don't know of any way to unsoft lock the game. You can't complete it because you can't get the pixels you need, and you can't get Bowser, and you need Bowser for Chapter 8-1.
And you also can't get up that ledge anyway. There hasn't been any way to get on top of there and get into that soft lock state to begin with. More interestingly, especially for this category, the beginning of Chapter 1, there is a cutscene at Bleck's Castle. When you enter the room at Bleck's Castle, it checks if you're at a certain point in the story to load whether the pre-Chapter 1 cutscene or the post-Chapter 1 cutscene. And the flip side map actually checks if you're one sequence position higher than what Bleck's Castle checks for, or lower, to warp you to the cutscene at Bleck's Castle. So what that means is that if theoretically you could return pipe before the beginning of Chapter 1, but after the Bleck cutscene, you could enter the Chapter 1 door again, and it would think that it's supposed to play a Bleck cutscene, and then you go to Bleck's Castle, and then Bleck's Castle thinks that it's supposed to play the post-Chapter 1 cutscene, and that effectively skips all of Chapter 1 entirely. And if you were able to open the pause menu 1 frame before you gain control of Mario entering Chapter 1, then that insane Chapter 1 skip would be possible. We are 1 menu storage away from a complete Chapter 1 skip.
Yeah.
And it looks like CapsTNT has found the second pure heart. It's now going to go and the spicy soup by Princess Peach. Mario technically doesn't know that Princess Peach is up there, but we're speedrunners. We just know what's going on. So what would happen is you would enter the Chapter 1 door, and it would play the cutscene that CapsTNT is currently watching. And then you move on to the Peach intermission, and the game would just think you get Chapter 1.
That was a really fast door. Something that we've always found really funny is the fact that you get Peach, and then immediately switch away from Peach.
The gate is in 3D. You physically cannot do anything with Peach when the game spawns you as Peach, and you physically, your only option is to switch to Mario.
Yeah, see, at this point, you could technically do a run without using Peach for like a full any percent move, without using Peach besides where she's forced out. Almost.
You open the door to Francis.
That's sad, but it's still really close. Yeah.
So with that, it's not forced out. What I'm saying is that you can't do that because you get to Francis and you need Peach.
You actually have to switch to Peach.
So, I think what that new Peach C manipulation is, I don't know what that's all about, but I'm pretty sure it was found that you can't beat almost all of Chapter 2 flipping it all. Let me adjust my mic settings, that could be it. Alright, I don't know how this is.
Also, can we just quickly talk about how, like, 2-1 has, like, some of the best music in the entire game? Like,
Honestly, yeah. Intelligence Systems just decided that they were going to make the best track in the game. And then they
we
just
need
did.
something simple for the second chapter of Super Paper Mario. Creates this.
Speaking of potential sequence manipulation, these two chests are the only ones in the game. Oh. It's okay, we got this. Yeah, so, that room with the 3 squigs, the 2 squiglets and the 1 squig, that is one of the only points in the entire game where you can, if you're further in the story than you're supposed to be, and you've never technically opened those chests, or that chest rather, that chest will still be there. So you'll be able to go there, open the chest, and actually revert your story progress back to Chapter 2. Fortunately, there's no known way to get into a post-Chapter 2 sequence position without hacking or actually completing Chapter 2 the type way. Nice to think about that just exists. The only other one that I'm aware of is unlocking Francis' room. But I don't think we'll see that in this run. If we see Francis' room in this run, you know something's gone very wrong.
My fishing rod broke. Good thing I have a second one. So DCA coming up here is going to be picking up Boomer. So, like I said earlier, we need Boomer to complete the pit, pretty much. Not technically, but without Boomer, it, 1, requires a lot more RNG, and 2, is incredibly hard.
There's a lot of strats to maximize your odds of not soft locking, and I'm pretty sure if you do enough of those strats, you can beat the pit without Boomer, with no guaranteed soft locks at all. But getting Boomer is just way more beginner friendly, and skipping him altogether is really not that good. It's not that hard, but it's not... It's very technical. It's not hard, you're not going to soft lock anymore. Before, it used to be, like, back then, it used to be very likely that you would just soft lock. There was like a 40% chance, something like that. But now, we've replaced all the RNG of soft locking with just making the route very, very technical. There's a lot of strats that you have to know if you want to do Boomerless Pit.
Cap's actually not doing too bad here. Just about to enter Chapter 2 as well. DCA has the lead entering the pit. So, the enter pit here, so usually you go like out to the out of bounds of side right, go around to where the Chapter 2 art pillar. But we aren't going to do that.
So usually you would use Boomer to break the break blocks and enter the pipe, and then make your way to the top of the platform here, but you can actually do a very precise Boomer throw. Get Boomer up there, and looks like DCA got it first try. That's actually a pretty hard strat. I've had a lot of trouble doing it. DCA is now officially in the pit. The fun begins. See it right there, went for a strat called Super Boomer. So, if Boomer's about to explode and you flip back into 2D just before he explodes, what happens is Boomer explodes while the game is considered 2D, but the camera is still angled as if it were in 3D. So what happens is that all of the enemies are aligned all the enemies that are horizontally on the same layer are aligned with each other, and so Boomer just clears out an entire row. It's a very satisfying strat. Nice first key there. 5 seconds in and out of a room is... I'm sure that all poison enemies have a 100% chance of dropping an item.
Yeah, so anything like a poison turbo, like a poison Poke will always drop an item.
I'm pretty sure though that I think for the poison Churble at least, there's like 95% chance that it's a dried shroom or something. Yeah. Something like 95%. I don't know the exact numbers. Plus, the exact numbers actually differ from region to region for some reason. That CapsTNT is now unlocked Boomer, so they'll be going to the pit. And now, the real fun's about to start. Both players are in the pit. Looks like...
Yeah. So although currently DCA has a lead, there is always a chance that something goes horrendously wrong for her, and the match gets turned around. Now, is this very likely? No, probably not. But there's always a chance. Stuff happens sometimes.
I wouldn't say absolutely not, because it has been seen before, right? It's not likely, but it's not completely rare either. Oh, nice early key there, 452. TNT's having a bit of trouble with the Boomer throw. Which is understandable, it's a very hard strat. And they got it. There we go. And there we go, now both players are in the pit. So something that can actually happen sometimes with the Koopa Shells. So Koopa Shells, when you kick them, they can go very far in the room. So far, in fact, that they can despawn. And if you kick a Koopa Shell and it despawns and it just so happens to have the key will just magically spawn in front of the door. That's a failsafe programmed by the game developers to prevent just a pure softlock like that. I'm assuming one of the beta testers encountered that softlock before. So,
I'm not entirely sure. It's kind of weird because it's only Koopas that do that. So, if you do it with like a Buzzy Beetle, they don't despawn.
Okay, they don't despawn though.
Nope.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not surprised because a lot of this game is actually patched. Like all the bugs in this game, they seem to be patched like on a case-by-case basis. So, for example, there's a check to make sure that you're in a correct state when you're opening a door. Right. And if you're using Berry, you cannot be opening a door at the same time. Right? For example, like a locked door. You cannot open a locked door if you're using Berry. But you can perfectly open a locked door if you're in the middle of using Throw. Because what I'm assuming is one of the beta testers accidentally opened a locked door with Berry, so they patched him, but they never patched Throw. And they only patched that for locked doors. So if you try to open a chest while using Berry, it actually works with no problem. So I'm absolutely not surprised that different enemies that could have this issue have a completely different way of solving the issue. But it only has like 4 HP, so as long as you're leveled up enough, aka past 60,000, you can just defeat it in 2 boomer hits like that. Its explosions actually penetrate defense, I think. Either they don't penetrate defense, what am I talking about? No, the hit from boomer is enough to slightly pierce defense, and because Boomer does double damage, so it just goes beyond the Chomp's defense and is able to do 2 damage there. So on CapsTNT's side, that's the key, immediately followed by Koopa Leaf. What do Koopa Leafs do in this game? Do they just use your defense for a bit?
Yep. Yeah, so you'll see DCA fighting Hammer Bros. Personally, I think those are some of the worst enemies in the game to fight, because they just throw their stupid hammers, and they don't stop throwing them.
One thing I hate about Hammer Bros in this game is that their hammers completely ignore collision entirely. So, if you're, for example, in the flop side pit, where there are multiple rooms of Dark Hammer Bros, and they all spawn at the top, then it's just raining hammers the entire room. Looks like that guy might be gatekeeping the way of the door. The DCA might be looking to do this strat inside the wall. It is a very difficult strat, though. Oh, never mind, they got it. It's happening. What is that enemy called? The giant dinosaur dude.
Oh, Robus.
The Robus to turn around. Are quite late keys for both our runners here. Oh, looks like CapsTNT hit the failsafe that I was mentioning. The key just spawned directly in front of the lock because I'm assuming... Well, not I'm assuming, it's because the enemy that was holding the key despawned. Nice first key from CapsTNT there. 456 key is... Oh. Looks like they might be going for some XP there, and they got an Ice Storm drop, which is pretty good.
Yeah, so the Ice Storm's main function in 50%, or what a lot of people use it for, is for this room number 98 that has red chomps in it. And this way, instead of having to hit them with Boomer about 8 bazillion times, they only have to use the Ice Storm 1 time. And also you can take multiple out at once, rather than hope that maybe you're lucky enough to the point where you'll have two close enough to boot bomb, but that will almost never happen, if ever.
You got the Blue Patrol, it's just standing there taking the hits. And CA is now introduced to the first room with ninjas in it. So these are a very annoying enemy. They are programmed to constantly have movement. They will always move at the exact same speed unless they stop to throw a shuriken. And sometimes, if you jump on them, they will call RNG and decide that your bounce didn't count, and they'll just turn into a bomb and respawn somewhere else. That is purely controlled by RNG. So
and the fun thing about this is that you could technically get so unlucky that you just never beat the guy. Statistically unlikely, but it is technically possible.
I actually have never looked at the actual scripts for ninjas. Oh, there's an egg drop. Alright, we got an egg. Let's go. Yeah, I've never actually looked at the scripts for the ninjas, so I cannot tell you if there's actually, like, a really high cap that is implemented, or if there's straight up no cap and you can stay there forever. I know that, 2-3, the wheel and the blocks do have a ruby counter. They do have a ruby cap, It's just really high. It takes like 30 minutes to get to the cap. Another egg? Yeah, Cap's got an egg too. Still a builder from DiamondCrafterA. So these clubbers are pretty annoying because depending on where you jump on them, your attack will either go through or you will take damage. Because if you land on their club, it actually counts as a spiky enemy. But if you land directly on their back, then it counts as just jumping on the enemy normally. When you jump multiple times on clubbers, you have to be very precise about how you do it. I don't know whose idea it was to put Koopa Strikers in the pit and just have them kick shells into themselves with the walls of the structures. We decided that it was a good idea, but these guys will just kill themselves. And yep, there it is. The enemy that had the key despawned, so it just the key just spawned in front of the lock. That's scary. DCA is low on HP. They are about 8,000 points away from a level up, but one more hit and it's over. That is pretty scary. Hopefully they've got some good heals. I know they have an egg. And there we go, now they're at a lot less risk of their next level up is at 120,000 points, so they are 7,000 points away from it. That was a very fast key there. CapsTNT is also very close to a level up, the 90,000 point level up. And unfortunately, you cannot crouch under turbo gas. Looks like DCA is now going to be poisoned for a while. A short while. That looks like they have a Daisy tier, though, which is the 3 HP heal that cures poison. Scary. Right next to level up, and they're going for the club kill. Just barely off. 90 points, and they get the... It's kind of scary. Especially with these dudes. And there it is. There's the level up. They're now fully healed. CapsTNT is also 110. So this guy right there, his name is Flynn. He shows up randomly in the break rooms of the pit. And he sells you some pretty good items at an insane markup. And looks like DiamondCrafterA just bought the Ice Storm, which could be very useful for the Red Chomp room. No, they're also marked up here. There's actually a 2x markup from the Old Town shop, I believe. Yeah, it's Life Shroom's 100 coins, and Ultra Shroom Shake is 150 coins. Life Shroom is normally 50 coins, and Ultra Shroom Shake is normally 150 coins. And here with Flame, Ultra Shroom Shake was 300, and Life Shroom was 100. Nice room layout. No, just about any shop, because the Ultra Shroom Shake isn't sold in Old Town at all. But places where it is sold, it sells for 150 coins. And in the flip side pit, Flim sells it for 300, which is a direct 2x markup. Then I guess the Old Town sells stuff half off then. And whatever shop I was at that was selling, I think the Old Town just sells stuff half off, and because it's almost the only shop you go through in the game. I figured Flim just sold it at markup, especially considering Flim does sell stuff at markup in other games. So this room has an Amazing Daisy here. They will flee Mario as soon as they see him. So normally there's a small chance that the Amazing Daisy has the key, and if they do, then that's not very good because you're going to be chasing them around, and if they decide to sing at you, their notes do 10 damage. And I believe the Dark Amazing Daisies, which deal 20 damage, are they're one of the highest dealing attacks in the entire game. I don't say the most, but it's one of them. Definitely. Context: Count Bleck's Dark Hole. Count Bleck's Black Hole attack. It's 8 damage. Dark Amazing Daisy's physic does 20. Put that in perspective, yeah, the final boss, well, the main antagonist, with the power of the literal gods, does not deal more than 8 damage at a time. This little flower does 20. Specifically, the dark one does 20. The normal one does 10. Unfortunately, you cannot jump on. Touch them in any way, there's just an active hurt box. Decent key there from CapsTNT 448. And first two, let's go. I'm pretty sure in this room there are like 2 enemies. 50, nice 50-50. CapsTNT does not get a firm spawn, unfortunately. So these off-white squiglets or squigs are actually called skoinkers. They actually only ever appear in the pit. They don't show up anywhere else in the game. Right there. Get it? These guys literally just kill themselves.
I'm back.
It's a 40. That's an 80 coin super shrimp shake. So yeah, that is not markup. That is just their normal price. Nice first key. And nice, nice door as well. 8 seconds in and out. That is very good.
We're gonna see DCA here use Super Boomer again to take out all of these Cursias. Unfortunately,
In 3D, Cursias actually exist in 3D, so you can just flip and get them all at the bottom floor on the same layer, and then Super Boomer is just broken in that room.
Or John's cardiac arrest.
Yeah, John's cardiac arrest is a great name for a strat. It's actually called John's chest pain, and then people started calling it cardiac arrest because it's funny.
Between me, Stevie, and Ghost, we kind of we just got creative.
I'm pretty sure there's some like Donkey Kong game or something, or maybe it was Beats Tower. I don't know, but there's this game. There was this game that one of the speedruns skips was literally just called Eric Weed Strat, something like that.
Yeah, we have some interesting ones in Galaxy, like HBO Max, which may be thinking, oh, HBO Max is that one streaming service, right? And you would be right. That's kind of how it got its name. But that strat name comes from Gusty Garden 2, where you skip pretty much directly to major boroughs. And there was this meme where we called him Horny Barack Obama. So the HBO actually stands for Horny Barack Obama.
There's actually layers in the meme name. That's actually really funny. HBO Max.
I'll actually tell this kind of funny story. So Rox, right? Rox is a Galaxy runner, and he was commentating the run on GDQ, and he said that, and then a bunch of people started calling him racist for it. That was a fun time. It all turned out okay though.
It's a 16-second in and out from there from CapsTNT. This row with the flip, what are these guys called? Skelebits? Yes, flip skelebits.
Yeah.
That's another room where, like, you just flip and get them all on the ground, and then you can't quite super boomer, but you can just, like, stay on a ledge and...
If you go in 3D, you can actually manipulate all these guys to start chasing you.
Oh, and then get them all in, like, one spot, and then just bomb all of them repeatedly?
Yep. They work best when you do it with, like, 2 or 3. It's hard just to get them all together, but... it is quite an effective strat.
Looks like, CapsTNT is actually encountering match blocks for the first time. These guys are kind of a pain because they just disappear whenever they like it, or whenever they like, and then they just...
They're like the John Cena of SPM. They rock you and then disappear.
Pretty much. DiamondCrafterA is actually seeing some red magic buffs, which I think deal the most damage. I cannot be... I'm not 100% certain, but I think the red ones cause the most damage. Gimmick to them, where if you explode Boomer next to them, they'll become confused for a slight moment. See that guy down there? That's actually...
It actually works. It works with real life science.
Yeah.
Using Boomer disrupts their vibrations.
So it's just a gimmick that is implemented in the game that I found out way too late. As a kid playing this game, I actually didn't know that at all. So those guys were just kind of a pain. In the room that DCA is in, you can actually get trolled by these slurps. If one of them happens to have the key, then each one of them takes 3 boomer hits to kill. Just lose a bunch of time.
Does it take 3?
No, wait. I think, no, the dark ones in the flop side pit take 3. Yeah, these take 2. These take 2. And so, DCA here actually killed all of the slurps before killing that Spania, and they ended up having keys, so they just ended up losing quite a bit of time that way. What runners will do there is they'll actually kill every enemy that isn't the slurp, and then start killing the slurps. But I guess that is a way that there's a way to, like, on average lose a smaller amount of time if you kill some slurps first. I don't know. It's all, like, statistics and math and stuff. And I don't know. Speaking of the ninja's weird animations, first of all, great key. Second of all, you see, like, one of them had this, like, weird animation. Sometimes they'll just do that. They'll just glitch out their animation for a bit. Along with all of their quirks, I'm starting to wonder if they just an intern or just something. I don't know. They're a clear outlier compared to every other enemy in the game.
Yeah, so that's kind of like a little bit of SPM lore that a lot of people don't really know too much about. Is whenever something wrong is wrong with the game, like for example, ninjos. I think it started with Flash calling them dev enemies, but it just kind of caught on with the whole community. Dev enemies.
Something weird happens in the game, you just say 6 programmers, because this game was programmed by a total of 6 people. Looking at some of the weird code in there, it definitely shows. Picked up the shell shock in Gustavius' house all this time ago. So you just kill all of them, and the shell shock will just get every single headlock combo. And because there's so many of them, then yeah, you just casually get a 70,000 point grind in one room. Enemies are really, really fast. They're still really fast. Very fast key right there. Another room where Super Boomer's pretty good. Really any room where there's a lot of enemies on the same layer. It's just perfect. Very close to hitting the curses there. Safe. by the invincibility frames. And there's the dreaded 98. And this is where the Ice Storm is very effective. Because, deal direct damage actually pierce defense. So DiamondCrafterA here missed the 1 and 4. They're now in room 100, which means that they get to fight Ragtail. Ragtail is pretty much the same as Fragtail. Internally, they are almost the same enemy. They share a lot of code. The difference is that this one is purple. And also, you need to do 10 hits on the antennas, and the little freckles on him shoot little particles that deal 10 damage. So, Ragtail is essentially a super buffed version of Fragtail. Super buffed in terms of, official content. That's as super buffed as we'll actually see in a Nintendo game. There's actually a very famous Stevie B clip where he actually died from one of those particles, got dealt 10 damage, and he just died. So, yeah, as you can see, it is literally the same fight. You just get on him, and then you just deal with the turns. And, remember how you need 10 hits? Well, you could throw 10 Rackles into the antenna, but one fire does 5 hits, so use 2 of them, then it hits way faster. Actually, a really nice strat. You might notice that DCA here has speech. You can actually wait around until the last second and float over to the antenna and deal all the hits like that. A bit early there, but it's still far enough. And there it is. Ragtail is now defeated. Now unlocked Dash L, which allows you to hold 1 and walk at 2 times speed. It's a pretty useful pixel, except carry does a straightforward, so. This isn't the exact time. This isn't the exact time because I actually forgot to start the timer for about like 7 seconds. But yeah, congratulations DCA for winning the Bracket Round 2. You'll now be moving on to to both runners. Congratulations for winning DCA. We'll stick around for the end of CapsTNT's run. Fortunately, having lost the losers bracket round, they are officially eliminated from the tournament. But we'll stick around to watch the end of this run regardless. We undo the split on the timer in a short second to see the actual time for Caps' run. Let's switch over to their audio as well. So here, this is something that we've labeled the pink room because there's pink fuzzies, pink gerbils, there's pink everything in this room. It's only pink enemies. I just love the animation that fuzzies have whenever you're... CapsTNT is actually killing every enemy that isn't a Schlur. These magic Koopas on the ledge there, they can get pretty annoying because they just prevent you from getting up there at all. From these magic Koopas there. It's pretty annoying too because it spawns way earlier than you actually think. Sometimes they're not even done with their animations and the attack already is there. The magic particle is already there doing damage. That's a good situation to be in. The Koopa Trolls have a pretty broken magic Koopas. There's like 3 Koopa Trolls just chilling. That's a predicament and a half, definitely. And it looks like Caps has got plenty of heals then, so there's no actual danger for now. Clearing the Koopa Trolls in that corner is going to be the best way. Unfortunately, slow room. You can't really control it. There's the dreaded ninja room. Getting a first key in this room is always a very good thing. You do not want to get this key in that. What? Mark? Open up Boomer to give it the extra height it needs. Looks like Caps has lost the 50-50 there. Looks like its other Jumpus has the key. At 6 HP in a room full of ninjas is very, very scary. Thankfully, CapsTNT has a lot of heals, so it gets to work out. In this room, there's a lot of enemies in this room. Getting a first key is very much appreciated. The boomerangs. Where you catch them, even if you land. The dreaded room 97, the hardest room in the pit. Got the red chain shop room. I think CapsTNT had an ice storm drop earlier. They did not. So if you don't have any good items for this room, using boomers is pretty much the best way to kill them. You do them all by one. Door is in a quite hard spot. So, an interesting property about match blocks is that when you bounce on them, Mario gets a lot of horizontal speed. In fact, more horizontal speed than his regular walking speed. So, it's very hard to do consecutive hits on a match block. So, getting them next to a wall is a very good strategy against them. Yeah, like that. You saw how Mario just went flying there. They might be getting last keyed in this room. That is definitely unfortunate. It's gonna spawn eventually. It might be spawning further on the right side of the screen though. Oh, there they are. That's not enough distance to the wall. And there's the key. Yeah, this room is very slow compared to all the other ones, just because of how long it takes to kill them. how long it takes for them to spawn and just how many of them there are. But now, CapsTNT is at room 100 with a heal, and looks like they're placing Boomer down for the memes. There isn't really that much creativity around Ragdale's existence. Like, he just says that the ancients placed him there, now he's mad, and now he's gonna kill us. But, like, it just leaves so much unexplained, and is literally just a buff of a previous boss. I mean, to be fair, the Pit of 100 Trials and the 1,000-Year Door did basically the exact same thing, but... You know, I just wish this game has a... I just wish this game had a bit more lore around, what exactly the Ancients did, and, like, why the pit exists. What is this, pink dragon, demon, god person doing here? Dealing more damage than the final boss, but... You know, it is what it is. You have to be careful with these dudes, because they deal 10 damage. Oh, wait, can you just reuse the same one? That's crazy. I've never seen that happen before. Then again, I really haven't played this boss that many times. Will they be able to make the jump? They were too early there. Yeah. I was jumping too early. You can reuse them once? Okay. I didn't know that. Oh, okay. And once again, missing the jump to the antenna there. It is kind of a hard jump. It does kind of need quite a bit of practice. And looks like we saw one of those 10 damage deals. And there you have it. Ragtail is now defeated. Congratulations. He's... Hold on. What's that chest over there? Oh hey, it's a new pixel. $155.35. This might need a retiming because the timer was started late by a couple seconds, but GG's. Congratulations to both runners. This was a pretty good race. So 5 to 10 late? Yeah, it was something like 7 or 8. Something like that. We'll have the video. But it's all good. Unfortunately, this does mean that CapsTNT is now eliminated from the tournament. But that's okay, because we host these tournaments every year. We even do some of them for fun sometimes. Congratulations to both runners. GG's. Moving on to the losers bracket. We can throw some gold bars in the chat, yeah. And that was it for this race. Again, congratulations on both runners. And we'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you guys. Thank you guys for watching as well. And we'll see you next time for the next race. I'm not exactly sure when it is, but I don't think it'll be restreamed by me though.